super excited to be checking out Evan's 1995 Civic Hatchback race car here. Okay, so first of all, what is actually done to this car to make it what it is?
Question is what isn't done to it. So basically, like, every nut and bolt on this car has been touched by me. I bought it as like a rolling shell, so there was no drivetrain. The wheels, I think they were like 14-inch Steelies, no engine. The entire interior was like completely gutted. My good friend Cody Loveland ended up building the roll cage in my car, and then basically after that started painting the car, the interior, putting the drivetrain in, putting all like the suspension components in as well.
Let's talk about what's under the hood. What's the powertrain on this thing?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a K24A2 out of a 2006 Acura TSX. It's completely bone stock, minus bolt-ons like intake, full exhaust. It's running on E85 too, on flex fuel.
Okay.
It's got a 50-degree VTC gear, and it has a Acura RSX Type S oil pump just to allow the engine to rev higher. So I think it revs to 82 right now, and from the factory this engine is like 72 or 7,500.
Oh my goodness.
Or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it makes power all the way up to that. Last time I got it dyno, it made 246 to the wheels and 200 foot-pounds to the wheels as well. So with the Grid Life class that I run in Club TR, we have to have a minimum weight, and it's 2550 with the driver in it. I have scales at home, and I can, you know, make sure I'm compliant with the weight restrictions. I haven't weighed the car since I went with 17s earlier this year, but what I have to do sometimes, depending on like the weight that I'm at, I have like removable lead ballasts that are clamped onto the roll cage, and I think they're 25 pounds a piece. So
wow.
I might be like over the limit, or not over the limit, but I might be too chunky for the class, so I might be able to like take one of those ballasts off. I just gotta go back on the scales and see where I'm at with it.
That's sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as the drivetrain, transmission, and things like that, can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So for the transmission, it's from a 2011 Honda Civic SI. But had a little bit of a problem last year. Back in March, I ended up grenading fourth gear. So I completely like tore the entire transmission apart, and then I put shorter gears 4th through 6th in. So it's been completely torn apart. And then when I went to 17s this year, in order to like maintain that same gear ratio, I think it's like 2.5-inch increase in like overall like wheel circumference. So I'm gonna have relatively a slower car with that final drive ratio. So I ended up doing a 5.33 final drive, so that brings my car like back up to the acceleration that I had when I was on 15s.
Okay.
It has an OS Geekin limited slip differential as well. And then shifting, for the most part, it's a Acuity Instruments 10th gen Civic Type R shifter.
Okay.
So Acuity is my main sponsor for Grid Life. What they ended up doing is developing a shifter cable bracket that bolts onto the transmission that allows that 10th gen Type R shifter to be used with that transmission. Seriously, like one of the best feeling shifters on the face of this planet. It's like super crisp. There's no slop whatsoever. It's very predictable. You know what gear you're going in. It's like one of my favorite things about the car.
That's awesome.
Sure.
So as far as aero, can you talk about the body panels and what the car actually looks like?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, like from this part forward, it's not factory. Besides the front bumper, it's factory, but it's got Track Life composites, wide fenders. They're adjustable wide fenders. I got a splitter that's made out of plywood.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy to make. It's like 70 bucks for a piece of 4-foot by 8-foot plywood, and then you just cut it. It's running Professional Awesome splitter rods, as well as their quick release splitter brackets as well. I got 4 splitter rods total. I got 2 in the front and then 2 in the rear, just for more stability at high speeds.
Okay.
Oh, and then the hood is first molding fiberglass aero vented hood. I was having a lot of cooling issues, and I ended up getting this hood, I think last year, just to help alleviate, get that heat extracted away out of the engine bay, just for the engine to breathe a little bit more.
And it looks awesome. I love the look of that.
Yeah, I love it. The camo wrap, and then like the purple and blue splatter is pretty cool.
Yeah,
coming out of that.
That is sweet.
The side skirts are PCI 4-inch, just bent aluminum side skirts. There's basically 3 brackets that hold the side skirts on. Pretty straightforward. And then the rear.
Yeah, the one thing that's really popping out here.
Yeah, so you got the 9 Lives Racing 6 66-inch wang.
Wow.
Not a wing, a wang.
That's a wang.
Wang. So, yep, it's just standard mounted. It's not a swan neck. 66 inches long. I think it's like 7 3/16 in cord length.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
What are you running for tires?
Yeah, so I'm running Falken RT660s. So with Club TR, we have to run a spec tire. And in this case, Falken sponsors the class. So the tire that we have to use is an RT660, or I think we can use the RT615K pluses, but they're not as fast as these. So in the rear, we have a Koenig countergram 17x8 plus 43 with a 5mm spacer. And then the front, we have the same wheel, the Koenig countergram 17x10. It's running a 255/40/17 tire on it.
So I know there's a bit of a backstory on this car. Can you touch on what made you get this car and just the backstory behind it?
Yeah, for sure. So in 2020, I ended up getting in a huge wreck. There was a Camaro that lost his brakes and T-boned the passenger side of my car at like 80 miles an hour. Didn't even see it coming too. I even checked my mirrors when I was going into that turn, and I literally saw no car, and then all of a sudden like a huge force of energy was just like exerted onto the passenger side of my car. And then for some reason I yanked the e-brake too, thinking like, oh, maybe I should slow down, like what's going on. I had no idea what was going on. So I basically slid like 300 feet like into the grass, and then I got out and I saw like my entire passenger side of the car was basically pushed in like a foot. So unfortunately that car was, you know, a complete loss, but thankfully the entire drivetrain of the car was still good. One sensor that was broken just due to the impact, and then some of the motor mount brackets were bent, so I just sent those out to Hossport, one of my sponsors. Okay. And then they just supplied me with new ones. So that was super nice. For some reason, like the crazy person that I am, I didn't take a break from racing. I ended up getting a completely new car. It was this shell. I think I got it like a month later. And one of the reasons why I was able to get it is because some of my close friends ended up creating a GoFundMe because of this incident. And gosh, I think I got like 17 or 18 grand just in donations. So I'm like very thankful for that. And on top of that, you know, like companies were coming in and supplying parts at discount or no charge. Like they were very sympathetic. They wanted to see me back out on the track as soon as possible. So very thankful for everyone that was able to contribute.
Now, shall we take it on a spin?
Yeah, let's give it a whirl.
Let's go. It sounds like a race car.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Just the feel of it.
Yeah.
The sound.
Very raw.
Yeah, very raw. That's a good way to describe it. So what are these gauges showing you?
So this is my oil pressure, and then that's just like my air fuel.
Okay, gotcha.
On this dash, it's connected to my computer. So of course, you know, it measures like which gear I'm in, the revs, the speed, the coolant temp, the ethanol content, fuel level, throttle position, oil temperature, voltage. I mean, it's fully customizable. You can do like whatever you want.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Maximize the build for the class. Oh yeah. So I think more so now it's like little tweaks maybe with aero, and since I went with 17s, I had to beat the crap out of the fender wells. So I got to repaint like the engine bay a little bit. Oh yeah. My main goal with this car was to go out on a session for 20 minutes on the track, come back in to the pits after the session and just turn the car off, check tire pressures, and then just relax. Oh yeah. That's been like my goal with this car, and it's basically got to that point where, you know, it's achieved.
about it is probably cornering, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just,
Oh, to say the least. I mean, the car is literally on rails. Like, I can make somebody throw up if I wanted.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So as far as times in a straight line, it's probably not so great. Like a 0 to 60.
It's actually it's relatively decent. I actually took this car in a quarter-mile drag strip last year when I was down in Kansas.
Oh wow.
So the car did like a 13.3.
Okay.
Which isn't terribly bad. I mean,
No.
I think that was the first time that I've ever done like a quarter-mile drag strip before. Yeah, like I said, the gears are very short.
Yeah, those are really short.
Very, very short.
You're in 5th right now?
Yeah.
So just right there, you got all the way to 5th?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that is a blast.
Of course, I missed second gear. Did that guy wave or flip me off?
I don't know, I didn't notice.
It's so much more fun when it's actually on the track, but the street, I mean, it can definitely be fun within, you know, legality.
Yep, that was fun. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, dude, my pleasure.
If you're new to my channel and you're liking this content, I will be posting a brand new video every single week, so be sure to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you next time.